Welcome Cancer and Cancer Cross Watchers to your mini weekly love reading. So we're going to get a card for you, a card for your person, and a card for the situation between you guys. So thanks for stopping by my channel today. I'm happy to have you here. And welcome to all the new viewers. Whoops. If you're new here, I usually upload, I upload every Sunday with mini love reads and then with some longer reads on Thursdays. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups for you, the Justice and Ace of Swords for your person. Oh, excuse me. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Swords for the situation between the two of you. So Cancer. I definitely feel like something is changing here, but I don't really see you being able to see that right now. I feel like you're kind of all up in your feelers, and it seems to be that there is somebody that is walking away from you, but I feel like they're walking smack dab into this really transformational process. It just feels here that I feel like somebody is seeing a situation very differently now than they did originally. It's almost like, this might sound strange, somebody thought that you didn't have feelings, if that makes sense. I feel like that's a strange thing to say for a water sign, but that's what I'm seeing. So I just felt like we needed some sage in here. I'm not really sure what the deal is. I feel like you may have felt like you were in a position where you were one of many, or it's like maybe something was said out of anger here, or it was said, I want to say like hastily. And I feel like, please flip it if that resonates, right? But I am seeing, Cancer, that it was you that said something, and I feel like to a certain extent you're kicking yourself here. And I feel like the person that you spoke to knows that it was the truth. And it's like they seem to know that you may be beating yourself up for it, but they're more focused on themselves right now. And that's not to judge this person. You know, it looks like they're going through whatever it is that they're going through. It just kind of feels here like, I feel like your person's getting out of a tough energy that may have come about when the two of you were together, and for some reason you're still in it. So I'm just going to take a sip of water here. Apologies. Excuse me. So we are going to get some clarifiers. Why is Cancer still in this energy? So we have the, I can't count Roman numerals. We have the Seven of Cups reversed and the Strength card. So, Cancer, I feel like I might call you out a little bit here, and please know that it's with love, okay? I feel like you are running stuff over in your mind over and over and over again, and I mean this in a really nice way, but I'm kind of seeing that you may be spending time mourning the loss of somebody that there's somebody better waiting for you. There's somebody that seems to be, I almost want to say like, excuse me, they seem to be quite romantic. This might be very specific, okay? For some of you, you might be kicking yourself for setting a couple of people up here, like on a date sort of thing. But that might be very specific. I feel like if you do set somebody up on a date, it doesn't work out. it's almost like the person that you set up on the date, this Strength card kind of has a thing for you, but they go out with this other person because it's like, well, if Cancer's not going to eventually date, but it's like, sorry, if Cancer's not going to eventually date me, then I guess I better move on. And I feel like then they do, and they're like, oh God, I can't be out with this person. If anything, it's like they just feel so much more comfortable with you. And you seem to be really kicking yourself here. And I actually feel like this may be a little frustrating for you. I mean, obviously it would be frustrating for you. I feel like there actually are some positives about the situation here that you are unwilling to acknowledge. And let me flesh that out a little bit. That unwilling to acknowledge sort of thing, it's actually because I feel like you're under the impression that something has worked out in a certain type of way. And I don't really feel that it has, that it's worked out in that way. It definitely feels like you're mourning the loss of something here. I'm just not so sure in the long run that you'll still be mourning it. I mean, and of course you wouldn't want to be in that energy for a long time, right? But it's more that thing of like, it's hurting right now. And I feel like down the road, I'm sorry to say this because sometimes I hate it when people say this to me, so I apologize for saying it to you. I feel that down the road, you're going to be so grateful that you dodged whatever, was coming this person's way. I feel like it's almost the energy of somebody that is having this kind of transformation, but I feel like they still, I want to say they spend a bit too much time looking backward. It's like they have the opportunity, they have the possibility, but they keep looking back for something. And I feel like to a certain extent, they may be looking back at you. Just gonna make sure that the deck is right side up. Can we get something for these? What's the truth of this person? What am I gonna turn around to? A brick wall. And that isn't here to be crappy to this person. I just kind of feel like this person spends a little bit too much time looking at the past, and I feel like they're not really seeing that something that they're putting energy into is not going to work out for them. So the situation between the two of you, we have the Ace of Pentacles with the Six of Swords. So I feel like somebody here has been pretty, I almost want to say callous. And I feel like you're moving towards an energy where it feels like you have everything that you want. I'm just trying to get a decent picture of the card. I feel like you seem to move into a place where you've put yourself back together. I feel to a certain extent that the pain is still there. There still is some, and that doesn't mean necessarily that you're missing this person. It actually just feels that like the pain of loss is still there. You know what I mean? So it's like you're grateful that, you've made forward movement and all that sort of thing. And it's like, you're not trying to be ungrateful. You're not trying to be, make a mountain out of a molehill or anything. And I'm not seeing that that's what you're doing. It just feels like there's this line of sadness that seems to be present. I want to say that it's not affecting your enjoyment most of the time, but some of the time I feel like it does come out to play. And I am kind of seeing that you're going to get past it, but just before I get into that, I'm going to pull one more card. make sure I'm putting them in the back in the deck. Right side up. Yeah, obviously, you're going to be getting out of it. It doesn't feel like it... I'm not sure it'll be easy. And Cancer, I'm sorry if that's the case. It does feel like you may be in the worst of it now. And that doesn't mean that everything from here is all the way up, right? It's like healing and grieving the loss of something. It's not a linear process. It's one that kind of does that kind of like jagged climb up the hill, right? It feels like what you're doing now for yourself, how you're investing in your own self, is something you are going to be so grateful for. It's that energy of like right now you're doing all those things that your future self will thank you for. I feel like you end up being really glad that you got out of this situation. Why is that? It's like, it's almost the energy of maybe the two of you fought a lot, and until there was no one that was yelling at you, or that the two of you weren't having a lot of conflict, it's like you may not have realized how much of your peace it took to engage in that kind of thing. Maybe you knew intellectually, but it's like when you feel the absence of it, I feel like that's kind of when you have this forward movement, but there's still this kind of line of sadness. So can we get one card for the Six of Voices? Six of Voices. I'm going to do one more shuffle. I feel like wherever it is that you're headed, you're going to get there. I feel to a certain extent, it's like there's this goal in mind that you have, that I feel like because of the energy that you're in, or the emotional experiences you're having in this relationship, or maybe there's more than this, I certainly hope there isn't. But whatever it is, it actually feels like you're on one of those... I'm sorry if this is the case for you, because I know it's not easy. But I do feel to a certain extent that you're on one of those journeys where it's like people that are not supposed to be around are going to leave your life, one way or another. And it feels like it's a season of learning to let go. And I actually feel like you seem to be doing a much better job of it than you are giving yourself credit for. Hold on for a second here. If you, this may not be for everybody, but Cancer, if you're comparing yourself to other people, like, well, this happened to them and they seem to be fine now. It's like, yeah, they're fine now. But it's like, don't fault yourself for struggling with losing something. It's like, that's an appropriate response to what's happening right now. So I think I'll leave it there, Cancer. If this reading resonated, I hope that it helped and that it brought you some clarity. And we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.